Breaking this morning, a father drowns while saving his child. What you should know about our currents as this storm system brews in the Gulf.
Right now, the hunt is on for this car thief who broke into a family business.
He has to pay for his crime.
This morning, the one clue that could catch the crook.
5 days are left until Amazon's Prime Day, and thieves are also counting down. This morning, practical tips to keep your home and purchases safe.
And new at 6, parents, you will not believe what other moms and dads are now hiring professionals for to get children to live a healthier life. Breaking right now, a death investigation in a Bonita Springs neighborhood. What neighbors heard right before deputies raced to the scene.
Teens taken advantage of. A warning for parents this morning. A spike in teenage girls being raped by other teens in Southwest Florida.
Plus, a credit card skimmer discovered right inside a convenience store.
It makes you more alert of where you're using your card and how you're using your cards.
A new crackdown on crooks trying to steal your money when using your debit card.
All new at 5, you've got mail, but not a job. Why your AOL account makes you unhireable.
Right now, 244 floodgates are closing in Louisiana.
And I don't think anybody who's alive who's lived in New Orleans has ever gone through this before.
A city already flooding, evacuating right now for soon-to-be Tropical Depression Barry.
Breaking right now, deputies guard a crime scene overnight. We're live in the Lee County neighborhood with what we know. Guns stolen from your neighbors' cars at an alarming rate, where another weapon is now in the hands of criminals.
Are you feeling burnout at work? New at 5, the one thing that you're doing outside the office that's actually having a major impact in the office.
The New Jersey car wash accidentally, there you go, ends up in the river. Take a look. That car was pulling out of that car wash when the driver hit the gas instead of the brake, falling into the water. Wow, can you imagine? Police say a witness ran down to help the driver and passenger in the car get out of the water.
The car wash workers did help them back onto the shoreline and up the embankment.
You always got to be aware of where you are, you know, always go slow, especially when there's a lot of people around.
The driver of the car sustained a minor injury to her leg, and the passenger refused medical attention.
Fighting back against calls for him to resign. He says he got the toughest deal he could in the trafficking case against Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, Democrats had this sign appear on the Department of Labor building yesterday. As you can see, it says #Acosta must go. Democrats are also calling for him to resign. They say the 2008 plea deal he agreed to while a U.S. attorney in Florida went too easy on the billionaire. Epstein faces new federal charges of child sex. Village of Estero is expected to approve a contract with FGCU to clean up the Estero River. We showed you these signs. They say the Estero River is polluted with waste and bacteria that could make you sick. A former nurse and volunteer with the Calusa Waterkeeper posted some of those signs. She fears some of you have no idea how dirty the water is.
My main concern and the concern of Calusa Waterkeeper is all about public health, about the health of our water and how it affects the health of humans and other wildlife.
The DEP calls the Estero River impaired. That means it's polluted with bacteria well above levels the state considers safe.
A story you won't forget this morning. This robber enters a Philadelphia store armed with a handgun and demands money. But get this, as he's about to run away with a couple $100s, he changed his mind and backs out. The store's owners say the man said the crime wouldn't help his daughter's kidney transplant much. The man put his gun away and became friendly before leaving that store. And now the owner says he's torn on what he thinks the would-be robber's punishment should be.
Hard to say. I think for willing to use the gun or taking the gun out of his pocket, I think he should be punished for that. But in the same time, us as a society, I think we should do something to help people like that and not push them to the edge where they have to use their gun.
Right now, police are on the search for that man. He would still face armed robbery charges, but police say when they find him, they could also help out his family.
Everybody now back up. It's now going to become a crime.
Do you remember that video? Today marks 5 years since this man, Eric Garner, died after being placed in a chokehold. You see him right here on police body camera video. Newark police were confronting the 43-year-old over allegations that he was illegally selling cigarettes in Staten Island. But now federal prosecutors say that videotape alone is not enough to prove that Officer Daniel Pantaleo actually committed a federal crime. So they made the announcement yesterday, leaving Garner's family shattered once again.
He was killed on the streets. Federal cops don't want to prosecute. Nobody wants to help. Nobody
Well, New York's medical examiner ruled Garner's death a homicide. He said the incident triggered a deadly asthma attack. At this hour, the NYPD is conducting an internal investigation into the officer's actions and will likely decide whether to fire Pantaleo. At least 3 families were affected by this so far. In August of 2018, 2 embryos were implanted into Annie Manukian. Now, the embryos did not result in a pregnancy, but the couple would soon find out that one of her embryos did develop and was born to a woman in New York. Now, this entire mix-up was discovered when the Asian birth parents delivered non-Asian twins.
Child robbed me of my ability to carry my own child, my baby boy, to be with him in the first couple of, moments of his life.
Now, that mother and her husband first saw their biological child when he was 6 weeks old. Both the biological parents as well as the couple from New York are suing that IVF clinic.
Right now, Louisiana and several neighboring states are bracing for soon-to-be Barry, but they're already experiencing severe weather there. Flash floods dumped about 8 inches of rain on New Orleans in just 3 hours yesterday. Look at some of the impact. The governor has declared a state of emergency.